Three types of goals. Let's deal with that learning first. First type of goal is what we call a negative or an away goal. What are they, gang? They're negative or away goals. It's, I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be working 80 hours. I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be unhealthy. It's the don't want type goals, okay? Those negative goals, what is the problem with them? Are they motivating? Not really. Even if they do motivate a little bit, they're short-term motivation until you're out of pain. What happens to the majority of people with negative goals? I don't want to work 80 hours. I don't want to work 80 hours. I don't want to work 80 hours. I've got to work 80 hours. It's like when you have a negative goal, what happens is you end up resigning yourself to the fact that the negative goal is the reality. It's like throwing the frog in boiling water. You all seen that story? Throw a frog in boiling water, it jumps out, put it in cold water and turn up the heat, it'll die in there type thing. That's what most humans do. And not just in business, in your private life too. I don't want to be fat, don't want to be fat, don't want to be fat. Oh, fuck it, I'm fat, let's eat. Does that happen, yes or no? And this is the way we look at it. So if you're in negative goal land, do you need to move, yes or no? Got to move real quick to positive goals. So positive goals is where instead of I don't want to work 80 hours a week, I want to be working 6 hours a day, 4 days a week. Does that make sense? Get clear on what the positive is, because now you don't have to be reactive. You can be proactive and start planning to achieve the goal. Start learning how, start planning how. It's not I don't want to be fat, it's I want to be able to run 10 miles. Do you know what I mean? It's like set a positive goal rather than a negative goal. That's level 2 goals. Level 3 goals, because level 2 goals will only get you so far in life. Level 2 goals, it's like, use my own personal life. At a certain point in time, having the next big house or the bigger yacht or the bigger jet or the bigger thing, eventually you just can't spend that much. It's like you look at Steve Jobs with Apple. Do you think he went to work saying, gee, how can I buy, a bit more? How do I sell enough iPads to pay the bills? No, it wasn't about that. It's about a bigger goal. And we call that third level goal a legacy goal. What's it called? A legacy goal, okay? So the legacy is what you're looking to do. This goal is bigger than you. This goal is bigger than the business. This goal is about achieving something that means something to other people. So your employees come to work knowing they're participating in something that is bigger than just making an extra few dollars. 2 examples of that, very simple one. Young gentleman we worked with in Birmingham. This young guy, and I just saw him, that's why I remember his story. When he first came to us, he had 180 employees, a young single guy doing very well, making about £1 million a year net to him, very successful, had all the toys, the trappings, everything, had a great life. But his coach sat down with him one day and said, how's things doing? And he wasn't fulfilled. You get the difference? Yeah, there's being happy and then there's being fulfilled. He had all of the stuff, but he wasn't, wasn't excited by it. And he said, well, okay, what would excite you? What would fulfill you in life? And he sat down and thought about it, and over a period of time, they worked it out that what he loved was employing people. He loved giving people jobs, and that was because as a kid, his parents didn't have jobs full time, so some weeks they'd eat really well, other weeks they wouldn't, and he never got Christmas presents. In fact, in his business, he threw a Christmas party for every single employee, and every single employee's kid got given a present by him. He knew all of his employees by name. So he sat down with his coach, and his coach said, well, okay, what's a goal bigger than you? What do you want to achieve? He said, you know what, I want to give more people jobs. He worked out there were 6,700 people without jobs in the area where he lived. He said, my goal is to give 6,700 people jobs. See, his goal was much bigger than him. When I saw him just a few months ago at our conference down in Brighton, here he was with 3,800 employees and £64 million a year net. See, what's your goal? Is your goal just to feed yourself, or is your goal to be massive? See, you're only going to be ever as big as your competition. If your vision is far greater than you, your business will be massive and therefore you'll get plenty of reward. But if the reward is your primary focus, no one's ever going to be motivated by it. No one's ever going to be excited to come to work to make you an extra $1 million. So what is it? Well, let me give you yours to start with. If you don't have one, here's where you start. Write this one down. This is yours until you come up with one that's more personal to you, okay? To be the best, write this down. To be the best, insert your industry, okay? Put your industry in there. To be the best landscaper or the best hairdresser or the best whatever your business is, in and put in the area you want to be the best in. So if it's Sydney or if it's New South Wales or if it's Australia or whatever it might be for you, that will be where you start, to be the best landscaper in Sydney. If that was your business, to be the best landscaper in Sydney, is that more motivating to your staff than to make $1 million this year? Yes or no? Hello, yes or no? Is it more motivating to you even? Because this is an interesting one. Most business owners who their employees aren't motivated, you know that the business owner themselves is not motivated. Gentleman the other day was talking to me, he said, well, Brad, my employees, they're not motivated in my business. And I looked in his eyes and he was basically dead behind the eyes. I said, well, how much do you love your business? He said, I don't love it, I hate it. Well, if you hate your business, your employees hate it, your customers hate it, you're not going to make any money. You better fall back in love with your business or else. And I know for me personally, 10 years into running ActionCOACH, literally 2003, I had to fire myself as CEO because I hated my business. If I saw another business owner asking me dumb questions again, I think I would have beat the shit out of them. I just got to that point where I didn't want to see a customer, I didn't want to see anyone, I didn't want to talk to anyone, I didn't want to look at the numbers. I just hated my business. And my CEO was very smart at the time. He said, Brad, number one thing that we need to do is you need to just get the hell out of here. I took 4 years off and actually fell in love with my business again, built a couple other businesses doing it, things I enjoyed. But until I enjoyed it again, it was no use me being around that business. Does that make sense? So it's very important to build a good business so you can walk away from it at some point in time if you need to, especially if you don't end up loving your business. And that brings me to an interesting point. Too often I hear this said at seminars, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. What a load of shit. If you do what you love and you are let's say you're an artist and you suck at business, you're doing what you love, art, you're no good at business, you'll end up hating art because you lose all your money from it. Doing what you love doesn't mean you don't work. Running a business is work. Doing what you love just makes it a little more pleasurable, for goodness sake. You got to work your butt off to make this stuff work. So have a good vision and you'll start to attract better employees. Talk about your vision, show them your vision.